Welcome back, everybody. My name's Will, and today I want to talk to you all about height over bore. That's something that gets talked about quite a bit, but then it's also easy to forget, and that's how you send rounds into the hood of your truck. So let's talk about it. What is height over bore? It's literally the height of your optic or your sighting system, so it could be iron sights as well, over the center line of your barrel. So why is height over bore important? Well, if you look, I've got the muzzle here on the number 6 on this target, and as the wind blows the target away from me, and then the red dot is actually significantly higher over the center line of the bore, which means that in order to hit the 6 from right here, if I were using my red dot at literal point blank range, I would have to aim above the 6 somewhere in this area is where I would need to put my dot. Now, obviously at this range it doesn't matter, but when you start getting it to different ranges, it does matter. For example, this dot is zeroed for 100 yards. I'm shooting at 5 yards. So if I'm going to shoot and I want a precise shot to hit at a, let's say the nasoocular cavity, the cranium of a target, I want to make sure that I put my dot in the right spot. If I put my dot right here, it's not guaranteed to hit right there unless I'm at my 0 distance. So that's a bunch of words, a bunch of mumbo jumbo. Let's actually demo it from 5 yards. Real quick, guys, before we get started, I need you to do me a favor. Go down to the description below. The first link in the description will take you over to my website. From there, I have links to all of my affiliates. You can go shop on their websites, and if you use my links to buy any products, it won't cost you anything more, but a portion of that money will come back here to support the channel, helping pay for gas for range trips, ammo, camera equipment, all that good stuff, and it helps out a lot. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys would go check that link out. Wind's picking up. Hopefully the dead cat's helping. I'm gonna go ahead and put my dot on the number 6. I'm gonna try to put as precise of a shot as I can, and just keep that dot right square in the middle of that number 6 circle. And let's see where the round goes. Pretty low. Now let's see if I can replicate that. All of those shots went about 2-3 inches low. Now, if this was 5 yards and I was shooting at the person instead of the number 6, I would have gotten pretty good center mass hits. It wouldn't have been that bad. However, if I need to take a precise shot at this distance, let's say the person's wearing body armor and I need to hit that nasoocular cavity to hit the light switch, aka the brainstem, to actually put a threat down in a defensive situation. So what does that tell me? That tells me I need to aim about 3 inches high at 5 yards with this rifle that is sighted in at 100. Let me see if I can explain this a little bit. Sorry if the camera's a little wobbly. I've got it on 2 legs of the tripod trying to hold it at this angle. But if you can see, you've got your optic on top and then you've got your barrel beneath it. Imagine, this isn't 1000% scientifically accurate, but imagine you've got a laser beam coming straight out of your barrel and a laser beam coming straight out of the optic. If they're perfectly straight, they're never going to connect. They're never going to touch. So you're always going to be aiming above whatever you're shooting at. However, what you're doing when you're zeroing is you're actually making those 2 lines connect and intersect and cross at some point. For me, it's 100 yards with this rifle. So this rifle zeroed at 100 yards. At 100 yards, those 2 lines cross. That means that at any distance before 100 yards, the line from the red dot is above the line from the barrel. That means that wherever that red dot is, the bullet is going to strike below where the red dot is. And then, in theory, past 100 yards, wherever that red dot is, the bullet would strike higher than the dot. However, we all know that bullets are not lasers and physics does come into play. Your bullet trajectory is a very, very, very mild parabola technically. So that's where ballistics comes in. But the laser analogy tends to kind of be the easiest way that I've found to explain this concept. So I wanted to throw that in there as a little bit of extra info. All right, well, that's it, guys. I know it's a quick video, but hopefully it gives you a piece of information maybe you either didn't already have or hadn't thought about in a while. Maybe you have rifles with optics on them, and this comes into play with handguns and red dots on handguns as well, based on what your zero distance is. But I don't know, if you have a rifle that you sighted in but you haven't considered figuring out what your holdovers would be at various distances, both within your sighting distance and further than your zero distance, to see what your holdovers and hold unders would be, because hold unders are also a thing depending on your zero. Maybe go out and play with that and try to, you know, figure out what those distances are. If you're a long range shooter, yeah, you can dope it out. You can use a Kestrel, you can use a, you know, a mil scope or something like that. But for a red dot, for a defensive gun where you're not going to sit there, especially at close distances, and go, oh, I need to hold this many mils high. You're not going to have time for that potentially in a defensive situation. So it's important to know those holdovers so you know where your rounds are going to go, because you're accountable for every single shot you fire. And if it doesn't go where you intend it to go, then that could be a really bad day. Not going to get into scenarios. You guys can play all those out in your head all you want. But yeah, important stuff, and stuff that's really easy to overlook. But that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to watch. Do me a favor, if you found this video informative or helpful, hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel. Also turn the bell icon to all notifications so you guys get to see all of my videos. I really appreciate that. It helps the channel out a lot, especially with the YouTube algorithm. If you guys have any questions about this or anything else, do me a favor, post those down in the comments below. I love having conversations with y'all. It's always a good time, and I usually end up learning something. Or if you prefer, you can send me an email or a DM on Instagram. I'll have that right here on the screen for you guys as well. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Y'all take it easy, roll tide, and I'll see you later.